Where's my Singularity 2, Activision? Seriously, where is this? Look, this Raven Software! Why aren't they making a Singularity 2? Come on! Let's be honest here, remasters are a dime a dozen nowadays. They're easy to make. Just take a game from the last generation of consoles, spruce it up a little bit, and release it for a certain price. It works, and to be honest, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One are littered with remasters. Littered with them. But there have been some really good ones. I have like a holy trinity of remasters. Metro Redux, the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection, and Metal Gear Solid HD collection. These are the best remasters. So it's been hard to actually find a remaster that kind of lives up to these remasters. And I think I've actually found one. Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. Now I know what you're saying. Richard, this is hyperbole, isn't it? You're exaggerating. No, I'm not. I'm not at all. I'm actually dead serious. This is probably one of the best remasters I have ever played. And I've played a lot of them because I picked them up in sales. So, yeah, let's take a look at Modern Warfare Remastered. I mean, that is the video. You came to see me take a look at it. That's kind of the plan, you know. But that's why I make these videos, you know. It's a review, and, you know, you expect me to give my opinion. I'll shut up now. Now, you don't need me to tell you the kind of impact that the original Modern Warfare has had on the gaming industry as a whole. You don't really need me to tell you that. You know it yourself. So, how does this remaster kind of stand up to the original game? Does it improve it? Yes, it does. Let's start with the graphics. Graphically, Modern Warfare Remastered looks incredible. Raven Software, the studio that Activision got to do this remaster, have done a fantastic job making the game look a hell of a lot better. Textures, lighting, effects, everything looks better. Now, obviously, if you look at the textures up close, they don't look brilliant, but overall, the game looks incredible. It really does. And that 60 frames per second frame rate is just, it really helps make the game look really good. You can't see it because I'm recording this using the share functionality, so it's recording at 30. But it does run at 60, and it runs pretty much smooth. I've never seen the frame rate drop, so yeah, graphically it looks incredible. So I might as well quickly touch on the campaign and tell you a little bit about it. So let's do that.
It's the FNG, sir. Go easy on him, sir. It's his first day in the regiment.
Right. What the hell kind of name is Soap, eh? How'd a muppet like you pass selection?
Let me give you the basic gist of the story. You play as two characters on kind of two different sides of modern combat. You play as an SAS soldier who's kind of doing those crack elite secret crack operations behind enemy lines, and you play as a US Marine who's on the front lines, right in the middle of the war, taking it to the enemy. I mean, you switch between these two characters as the story progresses. Now, the story isn't amazing. It's not going to win any awards, but it has a few neat little moments that kind of actually make it stand out. There are certain moments that actually kind of get to you, and you'll know if you play the original Modern Warfare the kind of scenes that I'm talking about. It's just there. Like, there's a scene, for example, where you play as the president of a Middle Eastern country, and you get to see the whole thing from his eyes as there's a military coup that happens, and he's taken away to be executed, and you see the whole thing from his perspective, and it's unbelievable. It's so well done. It's a cool way of kind of opening the game. I kind of like that. There's just a lot of those neat little moments. But the campaign is still really fun. It still suffers from a couple of the issues the original game did, but of course, you know, they had to stick very much to the original script here. I mean, for example, if you play the game on the higher difficulty, like Hardened or Veteran, you're not really going to enjoy it because the difficulty is unfair. It just really increases the damage the enemy can do, and you'll see a lot more grenades being thrown. It's not as bad in this game as it was in World at War, but it's still friggin' annoying when it happens, so yeah, it's not fun. And yeah, there's some sections where you're kind of in levels where you don't really have much cover, so they can be kind of frustrating. But overall, the campaign is still really good. It's still fun to play. There's a lot of this, there's a lot of famous missions from this game, like all gillied up, one shot, one kill, all that kind of stuff, and they're still fun to play. Um, they've kept all Raven Software as well. Have actually added to the campaign. They've actually added a lot of new animations and stuff that actually serve to enhance a lot of certain scenes, and it's really cool. It's just another reason why this remaster is really good. They actually bothered to go back and actually spruce up a lot of the animations, and it's really cool. It makes certain scenes look better. It doesn't work for every scene. I kind of do prefer the original versions of some scenes, but for the most part, it's really well done. They've also kept in a lot of the extra tidbits that the campaign had. You've got the intel cheats. You pick up intel in some of the levels, and if you pick up enough of it, you unlock a cheat. They've even added in a few more, like the really hilarious Ragdoll Impact. Seriously, combine that cheat with the infinite ammo cheat, play a mission on the easiest difficulty, get a shotgun, and you will have a lot of fun. They also kept in the arcade mode, which is still really fun to play. It's simple. You play through the campaign missions again, you're scored, and you have lives. It's fun to play, and it's simple. So overall, the campaign is still really, really good, and I've loved the additions they've made to it. So now let's go to the multiplayer.
On your feet, soldier! We are leaving!
So, if you've played the original Modern Warfare, you know how the multiplayer works. It's basically the same, which is great. It is nice to play a simple Call of Duty, because the modern Call of Duty, you've got wall running, you've got sliding, you've got rigs, you've got all this stuff. It's nice just to play a simple boots-on-the-ground Call of Duty. I'm not trying to sound like that I don't understand the new Call of Duty. It's saying it's nice just to play something simple. I'm just saying, that's all I'm saying. But yeah, you create your class, and you don't create your class straight away, you wait till level 5, but then you go. You have all your game modes, you've got Team Deathmatch, Free-for-All, Domination, Headquarters, all that stuff, but they've added in a few new game modes from the later Call of Duty games, like Kill Confirmed, Gun Game, and Hardpoint, which is cool. It's cool they've added these in, they're neat little additions. But yeah, the multiplayer pretty much plays the same, you play matches, you rank up, you kill enemies, you rank up, and then you die, and you die, and you die. You die a lot in Call of Duty games, I've noticed, especially in this one.
Now do classical gas.
Now, the multiplayer does have a few issues, but they mostly stem from what the original game had as well. The campers thing can be very annoying, but it comes with the territory, so you just deal with it. There are kind of a few balancing issues around some of the perks. For example, Martyrdom and Last Stand can be really annoying. Martyrdom is where if you die, you drop a live grenade on your body. This can be really annoying in Kill Confirmed when you go for the enemy's tag and they have Martyrdom. It can be super annoying. And you then have Last Stand, which where you don't really completely kill an enemy. If you just shoot them normally, they'll enter kind of a down state and they can pull out their pistol and try and kill you. To get around this, you either kill them with a grenade or another kind of explosive device, or you shoot them in the head. But it still can be quite annoying when it happens. But overall, the multiplayer is still great. I mean, and I like the private match options. Sorry, there's one other bad thing I have to mention, but I want to also include that I love the amount of private match customization you have. This kind of wasn't really in the original game. Well, it was kind of in the original game, but they've added things like you can now have bots. And there's so much customization. You can change like the health regeneration of players. You can change how long the intermissions lasts for the countdown timer lasts at the start of a game. And there's so much you can customize. You can even save the options and use them for future use, and that's really cool. My friend and I have been really enjoying kind of just playing gun game in private match with bots. It's great fun. I like the private match options. But Activision had to go and ruin what Raven Software did by adding in supply drops. Yes, more people were playing Modern Warfare Remastered than Infinite Warfare, so Activision thought, well, it's bad enough, that we're asking people to pay 100 quids just to get Modern Warfare Remastered. Let's make even more money by adding in microtransactions. It's very anti-consumer friendly, it's very scummy, but this is Activision we're talking about. It's not surprising at all. But overall, the multiplayer is still really, really good. It's still good fun despite those little issues. So, let's get on to my final verdict. Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered is one of the best remasters I have ever played. Raven Software really put their heart and soul into this. The game looks better, and I love the little details they added to the campaign. The campaign still plays very well, and I'm glad that they kept the arcade mode and the intel cheats. That's super cool. The multiplayer is great fun, even though Activision kind of sort of added in the microtransactions. They don't get in the way, and the multiplayer is still fun. And I love the private match stuff. Modern Warfare Remastered is now one of my benchmarks for the best remasters, along with Metro Redux, the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection, and Metal Gear Solid HD collection. It's an easy recommendation, but unfortunately, it does have a pulsating asterisk over its head. It is recommended, but when it goes standalone, do not buy the Legacy Edition for €100. I got it in a sale for €48, so I didn't pay full price for it, but wait for it to go standalone. My guess is at E3, Activision will do a big announcement alongside the new Call of Duty that Modern Warfare Remastered will be available standalone. And I would say once it goes standalone, it is recommended. It is a fantastic remaster. So what the hell kind of name is Soap? Anyway. Me too.